Hello, this is Huzaifa, Kamran, student ID 5024296. My unit is database fundamentals, and this assignment is task 3.2 HD high distinction. This is basically my research and presentation. Um, the topic basically I chose is database access control, and let's just skip to the abstract. Okay, here is the abstract. Basically, you can read through the slides, but I just try my level best to explain it in simple words. So basically, database access control is a critical aspect of database security aimed at regulating who can view and who can use the resources and database environment. As organizations, increasingly rely on databases to store sensitive information, ensuring that only authorized users have access to certain data. Um, this report it provides an in-depth analysis of database access control, its mechanisms, and how it enhances security in database management system (DBMS). The report explores different models of access control, such as discretionary, mandatory, and role-based access control, discussing their benefits, limitations, and current trends. So let's just get to the introduction. Yeah, here is an introduction. You can see the slides. Basically, in today's digital landscape, data has become one of the most valuable assets for organizations. Let me just fix the camera. Why is it? Okay, I hope it's okay now. So yeah, it has become one of the most valuable assets for companies and organizations that store vast amounts of data, ranging from personal information to critical financial records, all of which must be protected from unauthorized access. Database access control (DAC) refers to a set of policies and mechanisms that regulate who can access or modify the data within the database management system. The database access control plays a pivotal role in database security. As data breaches become more frequent and sophisticated, securing data has become an urgent priority of many businesses and institutions. A robust access control system can prevent data leaks, unauthorized modifications, and ensure compliance with data protection regulations, such as the General Data Protection Regulation (GDPR) or the Health Insurance Policy Portability and Accountability Act (HIPAA). So let's just get to the main body. Number one of my subtopics is understanding database access control. Database access control, DAC, refers to the mechanism that govern how users interact with database resources, as we discussed earlier. Access control typically involves assigning permissions to users based on their roles, ensuring that only authorized individuals can access, modify, or delete sensitive data. Access control policies define who can perform specific operations on database projects like tables, views, and schemas. The main objective of access control are confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data, collectively referred to as the CIA triad. And number two, yeah, we have access control models. There are several models of database access control, with each with its own methodology for enforcing restrictions on the data access. So 2.1 has a discretionary access control (DAC). It is basically a model which the database owner defines access policies. In this model, the owner has the discretion to grant or revoke access rights to the users. DAC allows for flexibility in controlling data, making it suitable for environments where access policies need to be dynamic. You can read through the slides, and there is an example I've given there. And number 2.2 has mandatory access control (MAC). Mandatory access control is a more significant model where access control policies are defined by the system rather than the owner itself. In this model, users are granted access, based on set of some fixed rules, typically established by a central authority. So this is like commonly used in environments where data security is paramount. Is paramount, such as like military and government organizations. An example is given again, and now coming towards 2.3 role-based access control (RBAC). It is a widely used model in modern database systems. In RBAC, users are assigned specific roles, and each role is associated with some set of permissions. Access rights are granted based on the roles rather than individual user identities. Example is given again. Getting towards number three, importance of access control in database security. In database access control is a critical component in maintaining the security and integrity of sensitive data. So number 3.1 says preventing unauthorized access. It's like a well-designed access control system that ensures that only authorized personnel can access certain pieces of data. Number 3.2 is basically data integrity. In simple words, access control mechanisms not only prevent unauthorized reading of data, but also protect against unauthorized modifications. Ensuring data integrity is essential for maintaining trust and the accuracy and reliability of the database. So number three basically is compliance. Number 3.3 is basically compliance with regulations. Many industries are subject to stringent data protection regulations. Compliance with regulations such as GDPR, as discussed before, HIPAA, also discussed before, and PCI DSS is critical. And robust access control helps organizations meet the requirements of data confidentiality and security likewise. So moving towards number four. Number four is basically challenges in implementing database access control. So, 4.1 has a complexity in large-scale environment. In large organizations with thousands of users, managing individual access rights can become overwhelming, and ensuring that the right people have the right level of access while minimizing administrative overhead can be challenging, especially in dynamic environments where roles and responsibilities are frequently changing. 4.2 overprivileged users. One of the most common security risks in database management is granting users more access than they need. Overprivileged users pose a significant threat as they may accidentally or maliciously modify or expose sensitive data. 4.3 is maintaining flexibility and security. Balancing flexibility and security can be difficult, especially in environments where access needs to be adjusted frequently. Ensuring that security policies do not hinder productivity while still protecting sensitive data requires careful consideration and regular policy updates likewise. 4.4 is insider threats. One of the biggest challenges in database security is mitigating insider threats. Even with robust access control mechanisms in place, malicious insiders with access to sensitive data can still cause significant damage. So let's just get to number 5, which is basically access control solutions and best practices. So to address the challenges and enhance the effectiveness of database access control, organizations can implement various solutions and follow best practices. 5.1 is implementing RBAC. So what is RBAC? RBAC is role-based access control, which is an effective way to manage access rights in large-scale environments by grouping users into roles, classes. Organizations can streamline the assignments of permission and ensure consistency across the database environment. 5.2 is periodic access reviews. Conducting periodic access reviews helps identify users who may have excessive privileges. By regularly reviewing access control policies, organizations can minimize the risk of overprivileged users exploiting the data or to ensure that access rights are kept up to date. 5.3 is auditing and monitoring. Regular auditing and monitoring of access logs allow organizations to detect suspicious activities and ensure that access control policies are being followed and are not getting breached in any way. So 5.4 is separation of duties. Enforcing the separation of duties is a critical best practice for reducing the risk of insider threats. By dividing key responsibilities amongst multiple users, organizations can ensure like there are no single user has complete control over sensitive data or critical database operations. So moving towards the last subtopic, number 6, future trends in database access control. As database technologies evolve, new access control mechanisms and solutions are being developed to address emerging challenges. The following trends are expected to shape the future of database access control. So at number 1, we have attribute-based access control, which is known as ABAC. As the database technologies evolve, as mentioned earlier, the new access mechanisms are being developed. So ABAC is an advanced access control model that grants access based on attributes of the user, environment, or data. Unlike RBAC discussed earlier, which assigns permissions based on roles, ABAC allows for more granular control by evaluating conditions that are such as user identity, location, and time. Number 2, we have AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning in access control. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are being leveraged to enhance access control systems. AI-driven solutions can analyze user behavior patterns and detect anomalies, providing real-time alerts for potential security threats or breaches. Number 3, we have zero trust architecture. The zero trust model assumes that threats can come from both inside and outside the organization, which is true that in a zero trust environment, access control is enforced at every layer of the database system, ensuring that users must continuously authenticate and verify their identities. Let's just get to the conclusion we get. Okay, so yeah, this is the conclusion. And in conclusion, it's basically database access control plays a fundamental role in safeguarding sensitive data within organizations by regulating who can access and modify database resources. Access control mechanisms protect against unauthorized access and ensure compliance with regulatory requirements. While there are several models of access control, including DAC, MAC, and RBAC, discussed earlier in the slides, each has its strengths and limitations. Implementing a robust access control system requires overwhelming challenges such as managing large-scale environments, addressing insider threats, and minimizing overprivileged users. As the field of database security evolves, emerging technologies such as ABAC, AI-driven security, and zero-trust architecture are expected to enhance the effectiveness of access control mechanisms by following best practices such as, periodic access reviews, auditing, and enforcing separation of duties. Organizations can strengthen their access control systems and mitigate potential security risks. So I hope that sums all the slides, and that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I have explained every single thing in detail. That's it for my presentation. Thank you. These are again some references before I end my presentation from where I got the resources, and you can also go through these references and links to access and to explore more about database access control. Thank you.